Nick Saban, Crimson Tide, it's trying to tie the 2004 Miami Hurricanes in having the most first-round draft picks in a single venue, a single event, single setting with 6. Does Alabama get this done, Matt? Lock or drop?
I have a lock. I think Alabama does this. I think Mac comes off early. I think it's Mac, DEVONTA, WADDLE, Surtain. That puts you at 4. Then I think NAJEE goes in the 20s. And I think somebody like the Buccaneers or the Ravens or the Chiefs, the Chiefs traded their pick. Maybe somebody like the Bucks or Ravens try to get a center in Landon Dickerson. And maybe possibility of Leatherwood coming in.
Like that. So you got love for the offensive lineman going to either a Dickerson or a Leatherwood going in as that 6th guy. I like that. So I'm going to lock it as well on my end. I think Mac, Smitty, Waddle, Surtain, those are all locks. Those 4 will all go. I see Najee Harris going 24 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Najee goes there. I look at Christian Barmore as the 6th guy. Barmore could either go 22 to the Titans because the Titans need edge rushers, or due to the fact that I don't think the Buccaneers will sign all of its main defensive players back from last year's Super Bowl team, I think the Bucs could get Barmore at pick number 32. So you have an offensive lineman going as your 6th guy. I have a defensive line going potentially and Christian Barmore. So I like that right there. As we move on to the second thought, we look at the wide receivers. As we size up here, DeVonta Smith and Jaylen Waddle. Will both guys will get taken in the top 10? Lock or drop, Matt, for Waddle and Smith getting taken in the top 10?
I have a drop. I think that you look at Detroit at 7, obviously Miami at 6, Carolina, I think they go with a quarterback, and I think Denver goes with a DB. And I think the Cowboys go with offensive lineman or a defensive back. So that only leaves room for maybe 2 receivers to go in the top 10 with either Cincinnati or Miami. So I think either DeVonta or Chase or Waddle and Chase are going to be in that top 10. So I just think it's going to be 1. So I have drop on that.
I have drop as well on that one, just due to when I look at Miami at number 6, they're starting to really fall all the more in love with Jamar Chase for that pick. If they don't take Chase, but I think the Dolphins would go with Kyle Pitts, the tight end out of Florida, with that number 6 pick. I do see the Detroit Lions at number 7 taking Smitty as a route runner to put with Jared Goff. I think Jaylen Waddle possibly gets out of that top 10. He could go 11 to the Giants. Keep an eye on that. If he doesn't go 11 to the Giants, then I say watch the Arizona Cardinals at 16. Waddle could be a huge fit there in Arizona at 16, but I'm dropping that along with you, Matt. I just feel like Miami at number 6, they like Jamar Chase. If not Chase, I can see them taking Kyle Pitts from Florida as well, but I think one of those 2, not both, between Waddle and Smitty, will get in that top 10. Moving on now to the third conversation here, and it goes to Mac Jones. The San Francisco 49ers have a huge conundrum going on here, Mac. Of course you know this. Adam Schefter coming out saying the 49ers don't know what they want. At one moment they want Mac Jones. The next moment they got 5 guys on their mind. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when the 49ers make their pick, will it be Mac Jones at number 3, Matt?
I have a lock it in. I think Mac Jones is the guy. Just look at Shanahan. He's like Sark. They're kind of the same mind, offensive mind. They love quarterbacks that can think quickly, understand the defense, get the ball out to playmakers. And I think Mac is probably one of my top 3 quarterbacks in the draft. I have him ahead of Lance. I have him ahead of Wilson. I think he's right there with Fields, Lawrence, and I think Mac is the 3rd off the board on my top 3. So I got it locked. I think Shanahan just fell in love with Mac Jones and Alabama offense. He ran some of the plays last year. So I got locked for Mac Jones at 3.
You got locked for Mac. I mean, Caddell, folks are going to call me crazy, but I'm going to go drop here. And the reason why I'm going to drop this, as much as I want to see Shanahan take Mac, I feel like the personnel department is going to get into Shanahan's head and override it. They're already talking about Trey Lance is this, Trey Lance is that. He gives you more mobility, higher ceiling. We got to be able to sell. We got to be able to have the quarterbacks to compete with what we got to face here in this vaunted NFC West. And I know how much Shanahan loves Mac Jones, and I know how much Shanahan is a win-now guy. But I feel like the personnel department in the room, they're going to override it. They're going to take Trey Lance. I hope it doesn't happen, but in my heart of hearts, I feel like the personnel department, they're going to override Shanahan, and they're going to take Trey Lance there at the 3rd overall pick. But we move on here to one Najee Harris. Now, people talk about Travis Etienne, Matt. People talk about Etienne. People talk about Javonte Williams out of North Carolina. But Najee Harris is the most complete back in this draft class. Is he the first running back off the board?
I'm going to say lock it up, lock the keys, and throw them away. I think Najee is that guy. From Etienne, I've only heard maybe one team associated with him, but with Najee, I've heard the Dolphins at 18. I've heard, Pittsburgh at 24, the Bills at 30. Possibly, I'm hearing late rumbles of San Francisco possibly trading back in late in the first round to get Najee. So I'm hearing more teams associated with Najee, so I think he will be the first back off the board, and that's my lock.
I'm right there with you, Matt. I mean, if you don't lock this in and throw away the key, I'm probably going to have to commit mass murder. if you don't lock this in and throw away the key. I mean, Najee Harris is the modern-day back. And I've mentioned this before. He is the Christian McCaffrey. He is the Dalvin Cook. He is the Alvin Kamara, even at 6'2", 230 pounds, built like a middle linebacker, but he's got the power to truck you over, to run in between the tackles. He's got the speed to bounce plays outside, and he's got the athleticism to stiff arm you, spin move you, hurdle you. Just so much elusiveness, evasiveness, athleticism. I mean, as far as catching the ball out of the backfield, one of the best, if not the best, doing it. The last 2 years at Bama, Najee, 70 catches, 729 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns. I'm locking this in. The brother will be the first back taken off the board.